At exactly 2:17 every morning, Train 114 arrived at the final station, carrying one passenger who was never supposed to exist. Security cameras counted every person who got off. The conductor swore the train was empty, yet one shadow always remained inside. And what investigators discovered next made seasoned detectives question reality. But that was only the beginning.
The route was ordinary. Same stations, same schedule, same crew. Nothing unusual until reports started pouring in from late-night commuters. They all described the same man sitting in the last car, staring silently through the window. He never blinked. He never moved. Was this just another urban legend, or was something much darker waiting at the end of the line?
When station staff checked the train after every shift, every seat was empty. No footprints, no forgotten bags, no evidence anyone had been there. Yet the surveillance footage clearly showed the mysterious passenger boarding, but never leaving. Who could explain something like that? Then investigators noticed one impossible detail.
The timestamp on the security video kept changing by itself. Every replay showed the stranger entering the train at a different minute, but the ending never changed. He always remained inside. If you're enjoying mysteries that keep you guessing, take a second to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves a good mystery. Trust me, you won't believe what's coming next, because everything was about to spiral out of control.
Rail officials finally reviewed maintenance records stretching back decades. Hidden in faded paperwork was a forgotten incident from 30 years earlier. A late-night train had vanished inside a tunnel for exactly 7 minutes. 7 minutes no one could explain. Was this mysterious passenger connected to that missing time? The answer shattered every expectation. One retired engineer reluctantly agreed to speak. His hands trembled as he described hearing footsteps after every final stop. Not one set, but two. The second pair always followed behind him, matching his pace perfectly. Every time he turned around, nothing was there. Was fear playing tricks on his mind? Or had someone been following him all along? Detectives enhanced old security footage frame by frame. That's when they froze the video. The mysterious passenger wasn't looking outside anymore. He was staring directly into the camera. Before security cameras inside trains even existed, how could someone acknowledge technology from the future? No one could explain what happened next.
A young transit officer volunteered to ride alone in the last car. Midnight came. Every station passed without incident. Then the lights flickered once, twice. The train suddenly became silent. When he looked up, the stranger was sitting only 3 seats away. Why hadn't anyone seen him enter? Then the officer made one terrible mistake. He asked a simple question. "Are you lost?" The stranger slowly smiled and whispered, "No, you're the one who shouldn't be here." Before the officer could react, every light went dark. Seconds later, they returned. The seat was empty again. But something else had disappeared too. And that's when panic spread across the station. The officer's body camera recorded everything, except the passenger. His voice appeared clearly on the audio, but the seat looked completely empty on video. Investigators replayed it hundreds of times. Everyone heard the conversation. Nobody could see who he was speaking to. Was reality itself breaking apart, or was someone hiding in plain sight? A fingerprint was finally recovered from a window inside the last car. The lab rushed the results. Everyone expected an unknown suspect. Instead, the print belonged to the officer investigating the case, recorded 23 years before he was even born. How could that be possible? The mystery had just become personal. Researchers uncovered blueprints for a tunnel sealed beneath the active railway. Officially, it had never opened. Unofficially, workers refused to enter after hearing voices calling their names. Some claimed those voices sounded exactly like their own. Could the tracks be hiding something alive? The next discovery changed everything forever.
Behind a rusted maintenance door, investigators found an abandoned passenger car covered in decades of dust. Every seat was empty, except one. A freshly folded newspaper rested there. Its date wasn't from the past. It was printed 6 months into the future. Who had left it behind? Then someone noticed the headline. The newspaper reported a deadly train accident that hadn't happened yet. Victims were listed by name. The lead investigator froze after seeing his own photograph among them. Was the future already written, or was someone trying desperately to change it? The countdown had officially begun. Authorities canceled every train scheduled for that route. They believed the disaster had been prevented. But at exactly 2:17, emergency dispatch received dozens of calls reporting a train racing through the abandoned tunnel. The problem? No train had been authorized to operate. So who was driving it? The answer was impossible to accept. Satellite tracking showed nothing. Control systems showed empty tracks. Yet residents near the railway heard the horn echo across the valley. Windows shook. Crossing gates activated by themselves. Witnesses insisted they saw glowing passenger windows speeding through the darkness. Could an invisible train really exist? Someone was finally brave enough to chase it. A freelance photographer followed the sound into the old tunnel. His camera kept recording after he disappeared. The recovered footage showed empty rails, until a reflection appeared inside the lens. The mysterious passenger was standing directly behind him, but when the camera turned around, no one was there. Then the recording ended without explanation. Forensic experts recovered one final audio clip from the damaged camera. A calm voice repeated the same sentence over and over. The last passenger never left, because nobody ever arrived. What did those words really mean? Everyone had a different theory. Only one person knew the truth. The retired conductor returned with a confession he had hidden for 30 years. On the night of the unexplained disappearance, he ignored a desperate passenger pounding on the locked train door after departure. He believed the man had been left behind. He was wrong. The passenger had somehow boarded anyway, and the consequences were beyond imagination. After revealing his secret, the conductor handed investigators an old ticket stamped with tomorrow's date. On the back, someone had written a chilling message. One seat is still reserved. The case was closed officially, but every year, new witnesses report seeing the same silent passenger in the last car. If you ever ride the final train home, will you notice the one person who never leaves?